Let me read to you a passage from the 16th chapter of St. John's Gospel, verses 23 to 28. It's the Gospel for Saturday after the 6th Sunday of Easter. St. John writes, Jesus said to his disciples, I tell you the truth, my Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. Until now, you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask, and you will receive, and your joy will be complete. Though I have been speaking figuratively, a time is coming when I will no longer use this kind of language, but will tell you plainly about my Father. In that day you will ask in my name. I am not saying that I will ask the Father on your behalf. No, the Father himself loves you because you have loved me and have believed that I came from God. I came from the Father and entered the world. Now I am leaving the world and going back to the Father. That's from John chapter 16, verse 23 to 28. Our Lord refers to prayer. Prayer of petition. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why do these bad things happen to me and my family? One answer to this comes from those who think that the world is all that there is, and that the world has its laws that do their inexorable work. Bad things happen to good people because those good people get caught in the natural crossfire of the countless dynamics of the universe. They happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or are themselves the product of natural coincidences. If science had all the information, it could explain everything without God, including all our bad luck. That is one reply to the pressing problem for an explanation of evil in my life. But this is not convincing to a lot of people. It starts with the assumption that there is no God. If the world is all that there is, how is it that there is a world with me in it anyway? If science presumes to answer this question with an empirical answer, such as the hypothesis of the Big Bang, well, how is it that there was, let us say, the Big Bang? If it is proposed that prior to the Big Bang there was a vacuum seething with particles and antiparticles, a primordial quantum fluctuation from which came the Big Bang, the question remains unanswered. Each of these primordial elements cry out for a causal explanation. Why is there something rather than nothing? And how did something come from nothing? As David Albert, in the New York Times Sunday Book Review, wrote, where, for starters, are the laws of quantum mechanics themselves supposed to have come from? Quantum field theories do not explain where those fields come from, nor of why the world should have consisted of the particular kinds of fields it does, or of why it should have consisted of fields at all, or of why there should have been a world in the first place. No, it will not do. Amid the experience of evil and suffering, mankind has still usually settled into a belief in the supernatural. That supernatural is viewed as having some control over things. It is good in some sense, and to it men pray for assistance in dealing with evil and suffering. The more pressing problem is for one who is confronted with and who even accepts the revealed religion of Abraham, Moses, and then Jesus Christ. Granted, Almighty God, the God of holiness and love, why are these things happening to me? The problem becomes acute When the religious person prays to the Almighty and All-Holy God for relief from a continuing and crushing burden, and nothing seems to happen. A couple lives their Catholic faith faithfully according to all the usual criteria. They frequent Mass every Sunday and whenever they can on other occasions. Within their family life they observe devotional practices approved by the Church. They pray daily. But they have a terrible burden. One of their children suffers a terrible affliction, and their prayers for his recovery from this are long-standing and unceasing, but there is no apparent answer. They are desperate, but still there is no apparent answer. They enlist the prayers of their own parish priest, but still there is no apparent answer. They are secretly tempted to give up on prayer, and without formally intending it, in a deliberate sense, to give up a little on God. That is the temptation. Because of the evil in their life, the suffering, they are tempted against faith. It is not a temptation to atheism, which is the temptation of some, a temptation to which some accede. It is a temptation not to abandon God, but to rely less on Him than hitherto. It may seem to them not to be serious, but it is, because in fact we depend completely on God as His creatures and as His children by baptism. Further, He is in fact almighty, all-holy, all-loving, all-wise. We should therefore rely on Him completely. The temptation to unbelief is, for such persons, a temptation to recede from a total dependence on God, our Father and Creator. The temptation, in effect, is to slip from the full acceptance of divine revelation. This is because of the problem of evil and suffering, and God's apparent allowance of this situation to continue unabated despite fervent prayers to Him for relief from it. Appearances seem to indicate that what Jesus Christ has revealed about God is not true. Such is the insidious, secret, unmasked temptation. This is the whisper of the serpent. God is not God after all. There are other gods, and they are worth trying out. There is no use in continuing to pray fervently to this so-called Almighty God. It is useless. The facts prove it. Indeed, this insinuating temptation lays the door ajar for another worldview, the secularist one. All that there is this world with its laws, and the only hope is to master the laws of nature. Believers do not usually go this far down the road, but such thoughts can be secretly entertained, to the detriment of the precious gift of their divine faith. It is imperative that such temptations not be entertained, and that the serpent be recognized. Our faith is in the person of Jesus Christ and His divine teaching. All of this brings us to our gospel that I read earlier. I tell you the truth. My Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. Until now you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask and you will receive, and your joy will be complete. John chapter 16, verse 23 to 28. Nothing is impossible for God, and our Lord has told us to pray always and never to lose heart. Luke chapter 18, verse 1. God is all-wise, and He knows how best to answer our unremitting prayer. Let us never give up on the word of Jesus Christ.